All right, all right. Rep your city, represent your city. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night to all people around the world. Hope you're doing great. Support the channel, hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. We got Richmond in the building. We got the beautiful city of New Orleans in the building. New Orleans is always competing with Chicago for the best food. I cannot wait to go down there and eat me some good old New Orleans plant-based vegan food. I know it's going to be so spicy and so tasty. Straight off the farm, straight down south. You can't get it no fresher than that. We got Buffalo in the building. We got the beautiful Nicole in the building representing Woodridge. Woodbridge, what's going on, everybody in Virginia? We got Rock Hill in the building. We got the beautiful Seattle, Washington in the building. One of my favorite cities. And one of the craziest places to drive when you're downtown. You're driving straight up and down. It's very interesting. I don't know how people drive a stick shift. Boy, that's got to be crazy. I guess you got to keep it in first and keep hitting it so you don't roll back. One time I stopped at the stoplight, and I was like this for real in Seattle at a stoplight with a car behind me. My car kept wanting to roll back. Boy, it's wow. It's like downtown. It's like, I think San Francisco is like that. I don't really remember because when I went up there, I ended up being out in one time I was in a city. Then one time I was like at a Grateful Dead event. I don't know where it was. Clutch and gas combination. That's not really easy for those of us that drive automatics. I've always drove automatics. I've only drove a stick in Hawaii when I had my lovely VW van. Oh man, I miss my VW van. I wish I could get another one of those and fix it up with the engine in the trunk, like it's off the chain. You get a lot of power with the engine on the back wheels. That thing will do a wheelie because the engine is right on the back wheels. Stick is cool if you're in flat surface, zoom, but if you're in a hilly area, you got to be a pro. You got to be a pro. I liked my VW, though. I learned how to drive a stick on my own. I bought a VW and just learned how to drive it. You know what I mean? It didn't take me that long. It took me about 35, 45 minutes. I had it. Yeah, it took me about 35, 45 minutes. It was up. I liked my VW, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm FBA all the way. My favorite car is a Cadillac. Cadillac is my favorite car, I'm really ethnic. Yeah, so my favorite car in the whole world is a Cadillac. That's my favorite car. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, nigga in the scene with a gangster lean. Ooh, though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, gangster white walls, TV antenna in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still be standing tall. Just be thankful for what you got. It's one of the best songs ever made. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back. That was one of the greatest songs ever, ever, ever. Everybody should have that song in their phone. Everybody should play that song when their children get in the car. Everybody should play that song. Just be thankful for what you got. Why they not playing that every Thanksgiving? That's one of the greatest songs ever, ever made. It shows you how to just be thankful for what you got. I said my favorite car is the Cadillac. That's what I said. I didn't say no, I didn't use the word best. My favorite car is the Cadillac. I never used the word best. I'm doing wonderful, Nicole. I never used the song best. I said my favorite car is the Cadillac. So in my opinion, of course, no German car is better than a Cadillac. Of course, because that's my favorite car. Miami in the building. Shout out to everybody in Miami. What you mean I need to try one out? You're assuming, right? You're assuming, right? You're assuming. You don't know what kind of cars I drove. I said my favorite. I'll tell you, man, the internet is really weird. Now you're just assuming. That I ain't been in a Lex and a Beamer and a Benz. What's up with all the assumptions? You know what? What's your name? Lakeitha. You know what kind of cars I've had? Can you name all the cars I had and driven? No. So why would you tell me I got to try something if you don't know? That's weird. Assumptions, right? I don't know what that got to do with my favorite car. I don't know what all that. I don't know what engineering and all that got to do with what's your favorite car. Like your favorite car might be a Corvette. Your favorite car might be a Maserati. I mean, your favorite car is just your favorite car based on what's your favorite car. It's not really based on anything other than it being your favorite, I would think. I would think your favorite car wouldn't be based on anything other than just being your favorite car. I don't know. I don't know. Like your favorite pair of shoes would not be based on are they your most expensive pair of shoes. I don't think. Is it me? Am I the one who don't understand what favorite means? I don't know. Is it me? Am I off here or something? Am I missing something? When I say favorite, my favorite, is my favorite the same as the best? The internet is extremely weird. I didn't know my favorite is the same thing as the best. I had no idea those was the same thing. Interesting. I don't know. Because the best vehicle is going to be a truck. Yeah, so my favorite car is a Cadillac. That's my favorite. You know, we're going to get to the conversation. What a lot of Americans don't know is that when you're in America, people look up to foreign cars. But when you're in Europe, a Cadillac is a foreign car. And so in places like Japan, Cadillacs are highly praised because in Japan, the Cadillac is a foreign car. See? So over here, you have foreign cars. Those cars in Europe are foreign cars. But in Europe, these cars are foreign cars. So my friends that sell antique cars, they sell, when they sell cars to Europe and Asia, they sell Cadillacs and Corvettes. Cadillacs and Corvettes for car collectors in Europe, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for Cadillacs and Corvettes. If you want to get into the car hustling business, you know, Big Pharaoh is involved with a lot of things. I just don't be telling you nothing. But for car sellers and people that, you know, you keep a car till it's 25 years old and you get the classic plates. If you want to get the classic plates on your car when it's 25 years old and sell it, and you want to make the big money, and you're in America, you can make big money selling classic cars here, but you make more selling American classic cars in Europe and in Asia. Like in Japan, they got a whole area where they drive Chevys with the switches and they listen to G-funk music and Snoop and them old music. They got a whole area like that. It'll trip you out. Like Japan got like areas that the whole areas are nostalgic areas. Crazy. So when you get to talking about selling cars, American cars sell real big in Asia and in Europe. Big. They already got European cars. So you can't really impress them selling them a antique Benz over in Europe. They want an antique Chevy, Cadillac. That's what they want. Especially that Corvette. If you get an antique Corvette or antique Cadillac, you get some serious money overseas. These are facts. Just like they want their cars over here, they want our cars over there. basically. I mean, all cars are good if you're a car collector because you're going to keep it prestigious and you're going to keep everything up to par. So any car you get, if you're a collector, it's going to run great because it's going to have a new engine in it. It's going to have all new parts in it. So it depends on we talking like people that do cars or we just talking like busters that just want to argue. But if you want to talk about people that do cars, all cars are great when you look in terms of antique because you rebuilt it. So you ain't gonna have no trouble with no car in terms of you really talking cars. Are we really? Y'all want to really talk cars? Or Cadillacs? I don't know. My daddy bought Cadillacs since I was a baby, so I've been in Cadillacs since a baby. I don't know. I forget what years he had, but he bought Cadillacs every 3 years or so. I learned how to drive in Cadillac. I mean, my daddy bought sedan DeVilles, the big ones. He had the first one was a green one, like a Kelly green with the white top and the white seats. Then the second one, I think, was the yellow one. And then the next one was the white one. Me, I had a white. I had the short body that I redid. I had the short body, and I bought my wife at the time. I bought her the humpback. I bought the humpback because the humpback is, everybody don't got the humpback. The one with the weird trunk. She had the silver humpback. Her bad boy was. See, the humpback gonna be worth a lot of money. Anybody got that one? You know what I'm saying? The weird looking one. She had the humpback. That was nice. I got mine. I took mine to the Cadillac dealer, made them put a new engine in it. They say, it was an 87. I made them put a new engine in it. They say, you want to put a new engine in this? They put a new engine in there. You know? I mean, I don't dislike it. Yeah, the slide bag. So when I went to a used car lot and bought it because I didn't care. As long as the frame was good and it wasn't rusted, I didn't care. I was going to rebuild it. So when I went to get it, it's like an Arab dude at one of these bootleg car dealers. So he was going to sell it to me. Then he had the slide back. So I said, how much you give them to me if I get both of them? You know what I mean? So I said, how much you give me if you give me both of them? So he slashed the price a lot. He sold me both of them. So I called my queen and say, I'm finna come get you, get dressed. And I went and got her and took her and gave her the keys to that car. She was happy. Hers was in better shape than mine, really. They were both in really good shape, but hers, no, it don't look like nobody even drove it that much. I like the Seville too. I was looking at the Seville too, but the short body is just, I like the Seville. I was gonna get one of those too. I might go back. I think I'm gonna go back and get a couple of them. Maybe. I don't know. I don't be wanting to store stuff right now, but I might go back and get a couple of them and rebuild them. The Eldorado's all right. I like the short body though. The short body is my favorite. I would say the short body is my favorite, then the Seville. The Seville is nice. I ain't gonna lie. I just like the short body. It looks I like the Seville though. But I was having a lot of babies. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of action, so I need to have some room. You know what I mean? The children got to get in there. The Seville going to be a little tight. So this is an update on what's going on with the SNAP benefits that was cut off. I talked to y'all the other day and let you know that they was going to be cutting off the SNAP benefits and that there might be some action and people still haven't gotten their SNAP yet. And the crime is up, but the media hasn't caught up yet with it. So the crime is definitely up, but the media is slow, haven't caught up with it. There was a group of dudes, they did 10 robberies in like 45 minutes or hours or something. And so, based on recent events related to 2025 federal government shutdown and an extensive body of research, crime rates are expected to increase following recent cuts and delays to SNAP Supplement Nutrition Assistance Program benefits. While nationwide crime statistics for the next period of the recent SNAP benefit reductions are still being compiled, the connection between food insecurity and crime is well established. Based on recent events, crime is going to go crazy, basically, is what they're telling you. And in Chicago, we've had, some problem. Most Americans say they are spending more on groceries and utilities and say tariffs hurt inflation, the economy, and their financial situations. So people are already stressed out. We've had some problems. Would-be thieves smashed into a Family Dollar store on the west side. That was Tuesday. That's the day the SNAP was cut off. SNAP was cut off on Tuesday, and Tuesday they snapped. These guys robbed 10 people in just 30 minutes. That was on the 14th. That was on the 14th. All right. I mean, that was on not on the 14th. That was on. Oh yeah, this is the wrong story. This is an old story. I don't know why they got May 14th, but this just happened. So I'm not understanding why they put that in. So this story is not correct. They showed me the wrong story. And so I looked up the story and it pulled up the wrong story. But there was some crimes where they hit 10 stores. This is not the one I meant to push up. This was people robbed. The one I wanted to pull up, 10 stores were broke into in like an hour, 2 hours. So that's the wrong story I pulled up. They probably did not have it loaded up. I seen 10 and just went with it, but that's not the story I was going to post. So yeah, the other day that they cut the stuff on Tuesday, and that happened I think Tuesday night. Tuesday night, some dudes ran up in 10 stores, just like that, took everything. It wasn't even posted. Then this other guy, he got shot because he went in down in Miami. He went into a Walmart and was stealing, but he was stealing food. He was stealing food, and he got unalived. He got shot. The man was armed, and he had went into Walmart to steal food. So the stories are coming through slowly. You know, people are tripping. A judge, a federal judge in Rhode Island, has ordered the Trump administration to deliver SNAP payments in full to states by tomorrow. Tomorrow. The order, which U.S. District Judge John McConnell issued Thursday afternoon, followed 2 weeks of chaos and confusion about the fate of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as food stamps, during the government shutdown. McConnell ruled last week that the Trump administration had to distribute benefits as soon as possible in response to a lawsuit filed by the progressive legal advocacy group Democracy Forward. The group sued the Department of Agriculture late last month after the agency said SNAP funding would not be distributed in November as long as the federal government remained closed. The lawsuit alleged that the USDA's actions were arbitrary and capricious and therefore violated the Administrative Procedure Act. The Trump administration agreed to partially fund the program by using 4.65 billion in contingency funds to cover about 65% of the benefits that eligible households would ordinarily receive, but it declined to draw from additional funding set aside for child nutrition programs. Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rowland also said it would take several weeks to deliver the partial payment. Given those expected delays, Democracy Forward filed an emergency request asking McConnell to order the Trump administration to expedite benefits or grant additional relief. This is what happens when you got billionaires in power. And this is what happens when you have people that do finally do pretty good in life. They turn so negative and they be like, well, I did it, so you should do it. So one of the problems with success is success makes you very selfish, and it gives you the idea that just because you're successful, everybody could be successful. And this is what successful people do, and they'll be the main ones when they get fired or they don't get any more work in Hollywood or they become out of favor. They end up the main ones sleeping in their cars. Right now, there's many, many people that was doing really well that are sleeping in their cars. Movie stars, Hollywood celebrities, ex-politicians, big businessmen, many, many, many of them are sleeping in cars and homeless. When the stock market fell back in the days, that's how we got Skid Row in Chicago, because all of the millionaires end up bums. They went crazy, they lost everything, and they were sleeping on the street and drinking. And so back in Chicago, back in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, early 60s, when you would be stepping over bums, these were the rich men that the stock market fell and they lost their shirts, they lost everything, everything. And they went crazy and became homeless bums. So when you high on the hog like that, uh, You got to get a reality check. I got many friends that were doing really well in the 90s. They had buildings, they had a lot of homes. But what happened is they thought their success was based on them, but your success is based on your clientele. And if your clientele goes broke, you don't have any clientele anymore. So now you got all this expenses, but you don't have the regular people to pay you to maintain your expenses. So these tycoons, they all went under. Some of the places, like if you in Illinois or you around Chicago, you know I line like Harvey. Harvey was one of the places where all these guys that made all this money, they bought all of those apartment buildings in Harvey. But when they went broke, all those buildings became dilapidated. Now they had to go and tear them down, and now Harvey is like a graveyard. All those used car salesmen, they out of business. All these car salesmen, they're out of business. All these Walgreens and CVS and big stores, they're not making no money. They have to close stores. Some of these big stores, designer stores, that would be in 7, 8 cities, they down to 3 cities. They have to close stores in certain cities. Their sales is not up like that because the rich sometimes don't be the brightest bulbs in the lamp. A lot of times the rich be getting favors based on race or who they know. They don't necessarily be smart. They just know the right people. A lot of times these people get money. It's not because they worked hard or nothing. It's just they knew people to put them in a position. This is 75% of the time. It's not based on their hard work. It's based on knowing people and rubbing elbows. In a real world, Donald Trump would never be no president. He's not qualified to be no president. It's all favoritism and money. He's not no president. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's crazy. People think he's really a president. They think he knows how to that guy doesn't know how to be no president. His rich friends pay for him to get in there and he's helping them get rich. He's breaking every law you can imagine. Everything he's doing is for the rich friends that put him in there. He ain't doing nothing but it's nothing but the criminal empire, basically. And so now a lot of people don't got food, and there's been a big argument because the majority of the people on food stamps are white. So white Americans are saying per capita. Blacks are the most per capita. At the end of the day, it's still white Americans taking the most of the food stamp money, whether it's per capita, per apita, or per rapita. At the end of the day, while some white Americans are shaming people for being on food stamps, most of that money is going to white Americans. And I've been saying this for a long time that white Americans that are doing well have been mistreating and overlooking white Americans that's been struggling. And white Americans that have been struggling need to stand up because there's homeless white Americans everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. So that amount of white Americans getting food stamps is not that 17 million is not the real number because homeless people don't get no food stamps. They don't got no address. They don't have what they need to have to get SNAP. So when you look at all the white Americans getting food stamps, and then you look at all the white Americans that's homeless, you looking at millions. And not no 17 million. Millions. And when that number really come out, it's going to be a disgrace and embarrassing. Even the number, we're not keeping an adequate number on mental illness. We're not keeping an adequate number on drug abuse, which is mixed with the mental illness. This country has no idea about its underbelly. This country has an underbelly that nobody's looking at. That is a fact. There's millions and millions of people in this country living in the shadows. Every winter in these cities where we have winter, soon as it gets cold in Chicago, New York, place like that, we start having fires. Buildings start catching on fire where homeless people in there trying to stay warm. So abandoned factories and abandoned apartments, they be catching on fire because people be in there trying to stay warm, starting fires and burn the whole building out. Soon as December come in Chicago, it's going to be mad fires in buildings. Even buildings that's occupied, that have an area that's not occupied that nobody checks, and homeless people is living in, it's like a big old factory. But down here, they got like a little warehouse part and nobody be in that part. And the homeless people then broke in there and living in there at night. And that catches on fire, catches the whole warehouse on fire. The whites are good with the paperwork. We blacks are slow with business paperwork. LLC Inc. I got an idea. I mean, whites is good with the paperwork, but where whites are not good is they're not good with creating customers. So all their paperwork just be trash. They're going to go out of business. Because you can start all kind of businesses and, you can start all type of business, try to be at the top. But the problem with white America, they don't understand the money don't come from the top. The money come from the bottom. And no matter what they do with paperwork, no matter what they do, if they don't understand the bottom, they're going to go broke. All them whites that's doing all them scams and got a 10 million here and there, all that money going to be gone. All them millions going to disappear. Because, they got $10 million, but their expenses is $2.5 million a year. They don't even know it. They don't know it. And as soon as their money stop coming in, they're going to be flat ass broke. Because it takes a lot of money to maintain a lot of money. You got to spend more money if you got money. Money is an expense. You got to move. You got to get in a safer location. All type. You got to have better insurance. All type of stuff. Money costs money. It costs money to have money. And then when that money don't keep coming up, the money that it costs for you to maintain a lifestyle when you got money eats it all up. Boom. And you're right back at square one. And right now, Robert, they're going to a cashless society. So when everything go digital in the next few months, because everything's going to go digital within by 14 months, we're going to be in the mark of the beast. So the world's about to change drastically anyway. There's not going to be any money. It's just going to be digits. And I'll probably be talking about that tomorrow because they're laying off millions of people right now. I mean, over the last week or so, they done laid off. They done laid off at least 750,000 people been laid off. Like 300,000 here, 200,000 there, 2,000 at Starbucks. The numbers is crazy. I'll look it up and do the live on it. Y'all ain't gonna believe how many people just lost their jobs over the last 2 weeks. Over the last 2 weeks, you would not believe how many people is poor, lost their jobs. So now the challenge is: are you going to take the microchip? Are you gonna switch over to cashless? And all your ability to make money, all that'll be over with. You will have to go through the system. So all that stuff, Robert, we would have had to do all that stuff years ago. Right now, you see look, Robert, if you look, you see how many people claiming they're getting rich with crypto and all that? Watch in another 5 years. They'll all be broke. Construction, yeah. And now they're building houses robotically. They're building these little, like, trade mobile units. They building these little mobile units, and they'll come sit it on the thing. That's gonna be the new thing. Ain't nobody gonna have no houses. Everybody's gonna live in these pre-made mobile units. All these abandoned houses across America, they're gonna clear that property, and they're gonna sit them mobile units on there, and you're gonna live in a pre-made mobile unit. It's a white guy. He making them inside right now, but everybody gonna start doing them. They make them inside. That way they ain't got to worry about the rain or nothing. And they construct it inside. It'll take them nothing but a few days, and it's ready. And then they get you the little piece of property, and they bring it out, and they just sit it there. And that's where everybody gonna live at. You ain't gonna be able to live in your house. Your insurance gonna be too high. Right now in Florida, people in Florida, they can't afford to pay home insurance. So they taking the money, putting it in a fund, and whatever happened to their house, they gotta pay to get it fixed. Look it up. In Florida right now, wealthy people with nice homes, people that worked hard and had great jobs, they can't afford home insurance. They got to save all their money, and whatever happened to their house, they got to fix it themselves because the hurricanes drove the insurance up to a point where they can't afford it. They can't afford home insurance. Like, you're looking at a collapse right in front of your face. Yeah, they building those. They building those right in time for the natural disasters to blow it over. Robert, these people, Robert, they just ain't got no righteousness in them. You mess up the planet. You got Mother Nature gonna act a fool, and you decide to put us in little things that the wind could just blow you. It's just unbelievable. Because anybody that's really paying attention know that Mother Nature's on her way. Anybody could see that. You just can't do all this stuff and think that Mother Nature's just cool with it. And they got everybody brainwashed. They don't believe in Mother Nature. They say it's HARP. And they believe you could put like 30,000 satellites. Elon Musk could send all them satellites up there to go round and round, and nothing will happen. It won't alter the weather none, which is just absolutely crazy. If you have a weather pattern in a natural world, what fool thinks that you can add things to the natural world and keep the same weather pattern? It doesn't even make any type of logic. Like the weather pattern is based on the way the world was built. Now, when you change the way the world was built, what make you think you're going to keep the same weather pattern? I'm going to do that live too, and I'm going to show how many times Jamaica been tore up. Jamaica, it was a weather machine. Man, Jamaica been tore up 25 or 30 times. HARP was built in 1993. Jamaica was tore up how many times before 1993? These people is crazy. Now all of a sudden it's HARP. I'm going to do that live. I had the information the other day. I ended up doing a different live. I'll go back and pull it back up and show you all that Jamaica get tore up every 5 to 7 years before HARP. Every 5 to 7 years, Jamaica going to get tore up because you put that stuff where hurricanes live at. Duh. Hurricanes live there. You know, it's like moving in Tornado Alley, right? Then everybody knows that tornadoes got a pattern they go through. In America, been doing that. The Native Americans knew it. That's why they had teepees and they would move, right? The Native Americans knew. The Native Americans knew. Simeon, go look at Jamaica hurricanes over the last 30 years, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Say it fixes, it's going to get torn right back up. Hurricanes live there. That's where hurricanes be. Just like here in America, we got places where tornadoes come every year. Before Christopher Columbus got here, tornadoes went through there. Make it make sense. There's weather patterns that have been doing that forever. You come and move on top of these weather patterns. It's crazy. But this food situation, I'm going to tell you right now, have your security, get your food, take your jewelry off. If you got a nice car and you got a car that's all right, put the nice car in the garage for a while. Drive the car nobody pay attention to. Take off the fancy clothes. Take off the nice watches. Ladies, put some earrings on. Husbands, if you got your wife that big wedding ring, go buy her a little one. Tell her to put that one in the safe. Let her wear a little thing on her hand. Maybe even a band or something that nobody wants. You know what I'm saying? And because the robbery's finna go through the roof. It's going to be a cold, dark winter. Stick them up. Give it up. Oh, it's coming. It comes every Christmas. So imagine a Christmas like now, starting off like now. Yeesh. Anybody that knows that, if you live in Cali or Miami, this might make no sense. But if you live in New York, Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, spring, brightness, happiness, summer, and fall, gloom, darkness. If you know, daylight savings time, it start being nighttime around 6:30 in the evening. And it get ugly. So everybody in Chicago that's old though, it get ugly starting now. Yeah, it get real ugly out there now. Now people ain't getting a snap. That's why I'm doing this update. Watch when I come back with another update. Watch. Because it's all hell break out tonight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Whoo, whoo, whoo. You gotta feed the wolves. So for y'all, I just want to let y'all know, turn your security up. Do your shopping early. Early morning, if you can. If you gotta go shopping and you got a job, you don't got to 5. Do your shopping 5:30, 6 o'clock. Don't be doing that 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock shopping. Get your ass in the house. Get your ass in the house. Because the robbery's finna be crazy. The robbery and the carjackings and the home invasions, it's gonna be crazy. And they got men putting masks on, knocking on doors, pretending they ICE, and robbing people, even doing stuff to women. So don't open up your door if nobody got no mask on. It's so thirsty out here, and they let these men run around with masks unidentified. Y'all know how criminals are. Criminals finna put on them uniforms like that and put masks in and break in and go in how many houses where the people think that's ICE? That was the dumbest idea ever. How stupid can you be to let dudes be unrecognizable and pretend they law enforcement and now anybody could do that? How stupid? Do you know how many people do you know how many dudes is 2 dudes coming to your house with a mask on and them military looking clothes? Talking about open up the door, ma'am. Man, man, I'm telling you, man, the Trump administration, I don't know what's wrong with them. They slow. They just did it the other day. I think 2 or 3 dudes. They went to these people's house. They got it on the Ring camera and knocked on their door. Went in there. They was not ICE, dressed just like ICE. Now the FBI saying if they got a mask on, you could pop out. The FBI had to come out and say, if they don't identify themselves, you got the right to defend yourself. That just came out like today or yesterday, where the FBI said, hey, if they got their face covered up, we ain't backing them up. You can't make this stuff up. The FBI tell you handle your business if somebody come to your house with a mask on. Facts. Tell me that's not crazy. The FBI, like if somebody come to your house with a mask on, unidentified, handle your business. Look it up. The FBI had to say that because the FBI got all the crime before we got it. So the FBI done seen all these home invasions before we gonna know. The FBI gonna gather information and we ain't gonna find out till next week, the week after. But we can only imagine how many of these happen we don't be getting all the information. So imagine how many people that went to people's house with masks on that wasn't ICE. I bet you easily 25 to 50. Easily. I bet you. I bet you that didn't happen 25 to 50 times. At least. Because one thing about criminals, they're going to jump on any, you know what I'm saying? One thing about criminals, that's what they do. They're going to be at home. Man, get some masks, man. They're going to go get them uniforms. They're going to go in there. They're going to take all that jewelry and all that stuff. They're going to come up on that. The police can't even identify them. They masked all up. With a big-ass army stuff on. You don't even know who that is. I don't know what fool thought that. Man, I'm telling you, man. What fool thought that was a good idea? Boy, it's going to be a crazy winter. But that's the update. I'm going to come again with another update. I'm going to keep updating you on that situation. Because it's going down. It's going down. It's gonna be lawlessness. It's gonna be lawlessness. You can't take away SNAP and have a lot of people lose their jobs, I guess. So you can have hundreds of thousands of Americans lose their job and take away SNAP, I guess. I talked to some of my partners, they're investors, they do stuff. They're like, man, Pharaoh, we ain't pulling no trigger on nothing. I said, for real? No, we ain't pulling no triggers. We put the orders out, don't pull no triggers on nothing. Keep all cash on hand. They ain't buying nothing. I said, are you kidding? He said, bro, you don't see what's going on. We're not buying nothing right now. We're not buying nothing. They had a couple apartment buildings and storefronts and stuff on the table to buy. They canceled all that. We don't want it. Nope, we don't want it. They said they don't want it. I said, you don't want it? They said, Pharaoh, ain't nobody going to have no money to come in there. What we going to buy that for? Word on the street, the economy finna tank. Yeah, boom. You're going to go outside, you're going to drive past CVS, it's going to be closed. You're going to drive by Walgreens, it's going to be closed. You're going to drive by Starbucks, it's going to be closed. McDonald's, closed. Burger King, closed. You're going to have to go to that one Burger King over there, and that McDonald's over there, and that Walgreens over there. All the other Walgreens gone. They're going to be closed. That's the first round. Then, boom, they're going to hit you with this first round now. Then January, oh my God. You can only imagine how much stuff in the close January 2026. Come on, man. You know how many stores got to close because the SNAP, they didn't get the SNAP? Them stores losing money. The stores make that money. Donald Trump is not that smart. The people don't make that money. The stores make that money. That government money goes to the stores. If the government give me SNAP and I go take the SNAP and buy stuff, who ends up with the money? Not me. The stuff I bought with the SNAP, if I spent $300 in SNAP, I only bought $100 worth of merchandise. That $200 profit, the store got it. I only got $100 worth of food. They bought that food and doubled and tripled the price and sold it to me. They acting like SNAP helped the people. SNAP helped the stores. Who ends up with the money? They acting like the people end up with the money. The people end up with the food, far less food than the money. If you got $500 worth of SNAP and you buy food, you are not getting $500 worth of food. You're probably getting $150 worth of food for $500. Facts. But they done inflated the price on everything. And who ends up with the SNAP? The stores. This fool, Trump, and the Republicans playing hardball, and the stores gonna tank. Yeah, poof. Right when they got to make their last money. I tell you, how somebody like me know the economy better than like all these smart people? How? Everybody knows that this time of year is when you break even. If you mess up the money now, they're going out of business. This is when you break even. Black Friday. Why would you mess up the economy when it's time for everybody to break even? So nobody's going to break even. There's certain companies that absolutely needed that money or they're closed. They're going to be closed. They're going to be closed. You can already see if you drive around some of these areas, like where I'm at, and you drive around these areas, and like you'll be driving down a main street, right? And you know how it'd be all these, it's like businesses on the street. If you look close, a lot of them is storefronts. And if you walk and look, they closed. It's like a business here, then a closed storefront is closed storefront, and a business here, and a closed storefront. They keep it looking decent so you can't really tell, oh, all these is out of business. It's so many storefronts in Chicago with nobody in them, you wouldn't believe it. Ain't nobody in them. Ain't nobody in them. And the Dunkin' Donuts, they looking weak. Starbucks is getting money because they got less Starbucks. But y'all seen Dunkin' Donuts? They don't know what they're doing, Robert. They don't know what they're doing. That's the trick, Robert. The trick is that people think that they know what they're doing. And people think that the results of what they're doing, they planning it. So it's like this, Robert. You got A. Then you got them sneaking, trying to plan B. So you're right. It's A and they trying to plan B, but they don't know what they're doing, so they get C. They did not plan C. They plan B. You got A and they plan B, but they stupid, Robert, and they end up with C. That's a fact. They do not know what they're doing. Robert, the trick is everybody think they know what they're doing when they absolutely don't. Everybody think it's a secret way they're going to win at the end. No. They finna take a L. They're absolutely stupid. And nobody can face it. They think, no, they really smart, Pharaoh. They know what they're doing. No, they don't. Even Christ said, forgive them. Because what? Because they know not what they do. They do not know what they're doing. It's obvious. All you got to do is look at them and you'll think, you know what? I don't think they know what they're doing. If you really look at them and the results of the moves they make, it's clear they don't know what they're doing. They say, Pharaoh, they know what they do. They're going to drive everybody out. And so when everybody run into the White House and pull him out of there, then what? Trump trying to upgrade his bunker now. What good does it have a bunker when you got to go down there and you can't come back up? Okay? What good is it if he gonna lock us up in the bunker and the people take over, he can't come back up? What he gonna control from down there? Nothing. Dumb as hell. That is nothing but a crypt. That's a grave he's digging himself. He gotta go down in that grave and stay. He better stick his head back up when he go down there. These people crazy. You cannot control all these people. A government has to work along with the people. Anytime a government don't work with the people are tear the damn government up. All over the world right now, people tearing their countries up. Go look, it's countries over there. They burn their whole government building down. Them fools over there trying to play with the people. You can't. Listen, when you are a leader of people, they are allowing you to be the leader. These people think they really the leader. Any real leader knows that leadership is based off of the people allowing you. When the people don't allow you to be a leader, it's over with. I didn't say they're going to fight. I said they're going to tear everything up. That's not a fight. There's not going to be no fight. You can't fight the people. You don't got no, who going to fight the people? The worst mistake you can do is get an army and forget that the army is related to the people. There's no soldier going to go and attack his auntie, his mom, his sister-in-law. The soldiers don't come from another planet. The soldiers is relatives. This is the part they don't understand. The soldiers are the relatives of the people. The soldiers is not going to attack their relatives. They acting like the soldiers is like some aliens. No, the soldiers is our cousins, our brothers, and they not finna attack the people. The United States military ready to have a mutiny on Trump. I don't know if y'all are watching. The U.S. military talking real greasy, like, I don't know if we going to follow your orders. Y'all ain't been watching the military? The military saying, we don't know if we going to follow your orders, dude. Y'all ain't been watching? The military talking greasy. It's military generals and stuff talking greasy. Talking about they not finna do nothing what Trump talk about. Y'all ain't been paying no attention? They don't like the head sec. They don't like him. They said, no, he wasn't supposed to be nothing. Their buddy was supposed to be that. They don't like dude. They like, I'd seen the general say he wasn't supposed to be it. General so-and-so was supposed to have that position. They saying he giving unlawful orders and all that. They ready to go mutiny on him. You know when he was done? I could tell you the day Donald Trump was done. I could tell you the day Donald Trump was done. The day he tore up the White House, he finished. He finished. The day he tore up a landmark like it was his building, he is done. So they hate him. If you know anything about white America, they hate Donald Trump today. They sorry they ever voted for. I'm telling you. And I ain't mad at them. I'm not mad at Trump supporters. I'm not mad at Trump supporters because Trump supporters had no idea he was going to do all that. I just seen the military dude that's supporting him make another speech, and he said, I didn't know you was going to do all that. He said, you an actor, and you fooled me. So in all fairness to Trump supporters, it ain't y'all fault. Nobody knew that fool was going to do all that. They didn't know he was going to do all that. How can I blame them? If he would have got up there and said, vote for me, I'm going to tear up the White House, they would have been like, hell no. They would have been like, oh no. He's like, vote for me, I'm going to tear down a part of the White House and build a big old ballroom. They would have been like, no. He got in there and he didn't tell them he was going to do none of this. Boy, they mad. They hate him. That's why the Democrats just want everything. The Republicans are finna lose everything. Trump destroyed the Republican Party. Totally. He destroyed them. They put that fool in there with a bunch of cowards that don't make him stand up and do nothing, so he could just do whatever he want to do, like little Billy, you know, the little spoiled kid. They put the little spoiled kid in there with everybody to let him be. Like I give you a better example. It's like a Lutheran school. My parents took me out of public school, sent me to a Lutheran school, and you got the one white kid, and he and all the other kids follow him, right? Because he like the bully. And they all follow him. And when you get there, they all act like they love him. They hate him. They scare him and they hate him, but they can't let him know. So my mama sent me from the hood in there trying to rehabilitate me. And I'm black, and you know, the bully runs up on me, and I'm still on him, tap, tap. And then all his followers say, oh, you can hit him? I'm like, yeah, you can hit him. And then he fall off. He's done. You know what I'm saying? He run up on me. I don't know nothing about none of that. Left, right. You know what I'm saying? Left, right, left. You know? And so then the kids go, oh, he's not all that. No, he was something. Oh, he was the man. Oh, my bad. I know you was the man. Let me brush you off. I wouldn't have did you like that. I know you was their mans and stuff. You should have told me you was their mans. We could have talked on the side. I would have let you keep your little position with them, but you ran up on me. I didn't get the memo. You know, I didn't know you was the big bully chief. Because you look like a punk to me. All I seen was a punk. You know what I'm saying? They seen you as all that. So I, tack. And so when I whooped the bully, they gave me all kind of religious medallions and stuff. You should see all the awards they gave me at the Lutheran school. They said I was the most Christian and I exuberated leadership and decency. My mother, I went and showed my mother, look, Ma, they gave me this award as the best kid at the school with leadership and religious leadership and all that. My mother, like, they is so full of shit. What you do to them kids? I said, I didn't do nothing. Mama, they gave me, I swear to God, at the Lutheran school, they had a vote for who was the one that did the most righteous stuff. They voted for me. It was I couldn't even believe it. They voted for me because I freed them from the bully. I swear to God, in the 7th grade, they said I was the best thing in the whole. All the kids voted for me. I was the holy man. They said I was holy. They said all this stuff. I didn't even know what they were saying. I had just got from public school. You know what I'm saying? I just came from public school. I don't know nothing about all this Lutheran stuff. They said I was, great for the community and was righteous and all this. And gave me the award. I was like, okay, I guess so. I don't know where that stuff is. I might got it put away with one other stuff somewhere. I don't know where that thing is. I didn't care nothing about that. But yeah, I was Jesus Christ up over there. I was holy man. I was righteous and to help the homeless and look out for the elders, all that. They had a long stuff on how great I was. All because I beat up the boy and made him stop. And everybody else started fighting. So everybody said, oh, you can fight him? I said, yeah. So then everybody stopped being bullied. That's Trump. They're going to be sick of them. They all turn on them. The first person stand up to Trump, they're going to all follow that person. They're going to turn on dude. Yeah, Auntie Punchy, I was the holy man. I was the holy, righteous youth that exuberated the best Lutheran behavior in Christ, and I was excellent for the community. I exuberated righteousness and faithfulness and the purity of the Lutheran Church. That's what the war was for. That I was so great. You know what I mean? I was even like, I guess so, because I was, my mom had sent me there so I wouldn't have to be around the gangs and stuff and trying to save me because I was a little, I was a little rough around the edges, you know what I'm saying? So my mama tried to save me, tried to send me to Lutheran school, save me. I went to Lutheran school with cigarettes in my socks, dice in my pocket, and weed. You know what I'm saying? And cussing and try to fill on the two black girls up there, try to teach them how to play catch a girl, kiss a girl, and all this, how to grind on them and all that. I took, what I do up there, and instead of making me holy, I turned everybody into sinners. You know what I'm saying? It was a fail. I turned the school out. I went up there. I was up there. Listen, man, and I'm going to get off here. I was up at the Lutheran school. I had been there like 3 days. It was 2 black girls. It was some black dudes because it's the 7th, 8th grade in the same class. So one day I'm at my locker. I put my stuff in the locker. When I turn around, it's like 7 kids surrounding me. And it's the one black girl. Her name was Darylyn. Hey, Darylyn. And she said, "We don't like you at our school. You're up here, you're saying bad words. She said, well, you're saying bad words and you're up at our school and our school is decent and you're saying all these curse words and all this stuff." And I was like, F you, B, get the F out my face. I said a whole bunch of curse words. That was my response. So, like, the next day, I was kissing on Daryl and I was kissing on Daphne. It was only 2 black girls. I'm like, I'm kissing both of them. Because, at that age, we wasn't doing the stuff like they doing now. We were just with kids. And I got there, and, as soon as I got there, I took a survey. It's only 2 black girls. Okay, I got to get both of them. Because I left for public school where it was a whole bunch of black girls. My mama going to send me to the school with just 2 black girls. I'm like, okay, I got to get both of them. So I got her in order, Next thing you know, she was kissing on the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? She was showing a thug love. You know what I mean? Her and Daphne. And I bust them both down. You know what I mean? And then I was the man. And cussing and catch a girl, kiss a girl, and hide, go freak, and all that stuff. I introduced them to what we was doing on the block. Let me show you what the black children is doing in the black community. And I became the holiest man at the school. I was righteous and all that up there kissing them girls. That's how the greaser wanted to beat me up. The 8th grade, I was a 7th grader, because I'm kissing on these black girls, and his sister was white. She didn't look all that good. Her name was Amy. And I wouldn't kiss Amy and stuff. And Amy was following me around, and her brother Craig didn't like the fact, he was a racist. He didn't like the fact that his white sister was all Google-eyeing me, a 7th grader. So Craig hated me because his sister was in love with me. But his sister would look like a little bunny rabbit. I didn't want that little weird-looking girl. I wanted Daphne and Daryl, and they were fine. So one day we sitting on the floor playing Spin the Bottle. Do you know the Fonz stepped on my hand. He put his pointy-toe shoes on my hand. Because he had been up there with Martin Luther King and them, with the Negroes. Here I am, Malcolm X. That man stepped on he was an 8th grade, he stepped on my hand. I couldn't believe that. I never seen nothing like that before. I jumped up and rolled on him. I jumped up and I rolled on this. I'm only in 7th grade, 8th grade, I jumped up. Because, they couldn't fight either. We Muhammad Ali. We was really with it. I jumped up. On him, you know what I'm saying? And that was the end of that. Boy, they didn't even have us effed up back then. He had me effed up before we had people effed up. We didn't even have people effed up. We didn't even have people effed up in 1970. That man had me effed up in 1970 and wasn't nobody effed up in 1970. But he had me effed up before they had people effed up. I'm like, dude, I'm looked at the blacks like, that what you been doing to y'all? Don't you know my mama trying to save me? I'm bad. You know what I'm saying? My mama trying to save me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no Michael Stewart. I'm Stu gambling at the park. Do you really know, boys? Lynchman love, gangster love. I'm in the 7th grade. My mama trying to save me. You know what I'm saying? My mama y'all don't know my mama trying to save me. I'm as bad. My mama trying to save me, and they up here playing with me. I'm not holy. I just got here. I'm not a Lutheran kid. I'm from the public school. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the public school. I don't know none of this program. I don't know what we be fighting. You know what I'm saying? We be fighting. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the public school. What? It took me a little while to jump up. Because when he stepped on my hand, I was like Scooby-Doo. I didn't know what. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I had to register. I'm thinking, no, he didn't. No, he did not. Did it? Boy, you cry. I jumped up. He didn't even punch or nothing. He just was there. Boy, what? So now that I'm a 7th grader, so now the black 8th graders, they're like, oh, we can fight them? Yeah, punk. You know? What? We had an 8th grader named Keith. He was big. I'm skinny. He was bigger than them. But they had took him over in his mind. So Keith like, we could fight him? I'm like, bro, you could beat all of them. What? So then all the blacks started standing up, and it was over with. And then they voted me, Martin Luther King and John the Baptist and Jesus Christ, and gave me an award. Said I was holy. I was the holiest, best, working with the community and the church and the parishioners on some righteousness. And I was the best ever. And they gave me an award for being the best ever, holiest, righteous, whatever type of stuff. It was all big speech on how great I was and how much I did for the community and how much I did for all the students and how I was like a holy man. I couldn't believe it. I took it. I like, this some bullshit, but I'm honored. You know what I'm saying? I ain't none of that, but cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They said I was the holy man and I was righteous, and it was an award from the church. They said I was Jesus Christ superstar. And basically, I went home and showed it to my mom. Mama, look, they said I'm the holy man and all that. My mom like, well, take your holy ass up there and make that bed up. You know what I'm saying? My mom was like, that's some bullshit. Yeah, even my mama didn't get happy. What's going on? My mama looked at that like, They know damn well you ain't did all that. I know you ain't did all that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, mama, this is what you get when you go up there and kiss the girls, though. You know what I'm saying? You go up there and you kiss on them girls. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm a player. It's a player award. It's like the Christian Player Award, mama. You know what I'm saying? That's their way to say it. I'm a pimp. You know what I'm saying? That's what that was the only way they could show that I'm the man. They wanted to show I was the man. They gave me whatever award they had. Everybody voted for me. Even the teacher looked like, because the teacher told them, when you vote now, this is not a popularity contest, but yes, it was. Because they said I was the holy, righteous. I should have kept that thing because I forgot, man. I should have really kept that because that is really something to show people how I was so righteous up at that school. And I did so much for the church and all that because I whooped dude for playing with me. Yeah, I was up there cussing and kissing on the girls. You know I'm saying? So I was from the block. We played catch a girl, kiss a girl. You know, we chasing Denise and Cookie and them on the block. You know, we out there at night doing stuff we ain't got no business. I'm gonna let y'all go. I got a story today. One time we was playing hide and go seek, right? I think we probably about in the 5th grade, 6th grade. So I got Denise. I like Denise. She was thick. So I tricked Denise to come hide with me. I said, we can hide in my parents' basement. So I used my key and went in the house and took her in the basement. And I was down there kissing on her, filling her on the basement. The kids was outside. The kids was outside looking for us. You're supposed to be outside. I'd have took her in the basement. After I get through filling on her and stuff, and we come back out, we run up to our free. They're like, where y'all was at? It's like we was hiding behind the house. They had played like 3 games before we came out. They had played 3 rounds. I go see. I had that girl down there filling on. Back then, the girls would only let you fill on them. They wouldn't let you go too far. But I went as far as you could go. I went as far as I could go. As far as they let me go in 1969. I went as far as possible. You know, I went as far as the 11-year-old could go. I tricked that girl to hide in the basement. So, yeah, all them skills in the hood helped me when I went to the Lutheran school, helped me to be great, like John the Baptist and Jesus Christ when I was at the school. They voted me as John the Baptist and Jesus Christ. I was the greatest ever. Yeah, Punchy, I wish you would have been there to play with us, baby. Punchy, I wish you would have been there to do a little hide and go seek. All right, y'all, will let y'all go. I'm going to let y'all go. Victory.